What is up? Now, I'm pretty sure you guessed this was coming, because you know it's your boy WhiskerChan. Y'all already know how this routine goes. And yeah, y'all are probably looking at me like, what are you doing? I am being me, alright? So if you got a problem with it, drop the subscribe button down below. Anyway guys, what is up? Welcome back to another WhiskerChan banger video. And in today's video, we are going over Albedo's best build. Yes, because with update 1.2 coming in a couple of days, because actually it'll be 12 days from now. When this video posts, it'll be 12 days from now, and we will be getting probably Albedo as our first banner. And if you want to know as to why everyone thinks he's going to be the first banner, or like, you know, it's hints to be his first banner, it's in my previous video, which I will be linking in this video, in the cards, and also in the end screen, right? So guys, let's go ahead and get into his best build. But before we do, y'all already know. YMCA. Yeah, okay. Go ahead and join the subscribers on the grind to 1,500, guys. If we can hit this before this month ends, I will cry. I mean, of course, I'm gonna cry either way, because y'all make me emotional with all the support y'all give me. I really do appreciate all of y'all. Thank y'all so much, and I hope to continue this, because this is my wish, this is my dream. I hope this can last forever, and I hope we can just keep growing, and I can keep making more friends of all of you. My Whisker Gang, my Whiskribers, Whisker Gang on top, y'all already know. So go ahead and smash that subscribe button down below, join the subscribers on the grind to 1,500. And also, smash the like button down below. You're going to enjoy this content. But without further ado, let's get into today's video. Okay, first things first, I want to talk a little bit about Albedo, right? So as y'all do know, he is Geo, he is Sword, and I want to talk about his multipliers for Ascension, which is Geo damage. Now, this character is pretty broken, and the reason I say he's pretty broken is because if what this says is true on his skills and whatnot, he will be a beast, basically, right? So basically, this is all his stats right here, where he scales to with HP, attack, defense, and Geo damage, right? We have 28.8% with max level, right? Now let's talk about his elemental skill. Abiogenesis Solar Isotama. This is where it gets a little bit broken, right? So basically, Albedo creates a Solar Isotama using alchemy, which deals AoE Geo damage on appearance. This has the following properties, right? When enemies within the Solar Isotama field take enemies within the field take damage, right? And then the Solar Isotama will generate Transient Blossoms, which deal AoE Geo damage, and the damage scales off of his defense. And as you do see, his defense is pretty good. He has a max defense of 876. It's pretty good, but it can go higher depending on your substats and whatnot. You don't really want to prioritize the main stats as defense for elemental skill to hit hard. You really don't want to do that, but some players do. You know, this game is about preference at the end of the day. So basically, the damage of these Transient Blossoms, they scale off of his defense, right? But one thing to note about this is that he does the damage, right? When the enemies go into the field of the Solar Isotama, they take damage, and then the Solar Isotama generates Transient Blossoms that deal AoE Geo damage, and this damage scales off of Albedo's defense. That's pretty broken, because you're doing double damage, like, from one elemental skill. And I'm gonna explain the multipliers and whatnot really soon as to why it's broken to me, right? So the Transient Blossoms can only be generated every 2 seconds, which is very balanced, because if it was 0.3, I would have had a problem. I mean, I wouldn't have, but like MiHoYo would have had a problem. When a character is located at the locus of the Solar Isotama will accumulate Geo power from crystallized power. Basically, what it's saying is, once you go near the locus, if you want, you can stand on a flower and it will literally rise up to a certain height, right? And only one crystallized platform can exist at a time. Solar Isotama is considered a Geo construct, and you can hold to designate the location of the skill, right? So it doesn't have a charge skill, it doesn't have a charge cooldown, it's just a base cooldown. So here we are with the skill damage. Skill damage at level 1 to 130.4, skill damage at level 15 is 309.7. And for a skill that is really good damage, and considering that it has Transient Blossoms that come every 2 seconds, that's what makes it even more broken. and that can go from 94.8% to 225.15%. So basically you're going to be doing up to 534% damage if you have level 15 on your Solar Isotama. 534 damage because of the transient blossoms that are generated every 2 seconds, and because of the raw damage that happens when they're in the field of the Solar Isotama. And the good thing, the coolest thing about this, what makes it so broken? The duration is 30 seconds. This lasts for 30 seconds. Guys, 30 seconds is half a minute. And the craziest thing is the cooldown is 8 seconds. So that leads me to believe, can you put multiple Solar Isotamas on the field? That's what I was thinking about, right? I don't think, if that's possible, they're probably going to nerf that. If you could put multiple Solar Isotamas on the field, and then each of them just put out transient blossoms, like, imagine, you put one out, right? And then you put one right next to it and another one. Boom! As soon as some enemy walks in there, they're taking the damage from 3 Solar Isotamas, and then 3 transient blossoms that will bloom as soon as they come in there, that scale off of ALBEDO's defense. That's why I don't know if this is stackable, but if it is, he is broken. So the duration is 30 seconds, and like I said, the skill cooldown is 8 seconds. So what we're looking at is somebody who's going to get their elemental burst back really fast because of the skill cooldown. And you're probably saying that doesn't necessarily mean that, but this is where it comes in. Rite of Progeniture Tectonic Tide. Guys, this is an elemental burst. Basically, he summons Crystal Surge and it bursts forth and dealing AoE geo damage in front of him. If your Solar Isotama is on the field, it will create 7 Fatal Blossoms that will be generated in the Solar Isotama field. They will burst violently into bloom and deal AoE geo damage. So basically what we're looking at is a nuke character. He's going to be nuking crowds, and the fact that he's going to be buffed during an event in 1.2 because of his sword that is free is going to make him even more broken and make him do ridiculous damage. Now, what I feel about this is his elemental skill is really good. Really good. If it can stack, if you could put more of them on the field because the cooldown being 8 seconds, that's even better, right? And then his elemental burst supports his elemental skill. If his elemental skill is on the field and then you do elemental burst, 7 Fatal Blossoms immediately come out. Not just 1 every 2 seconds, 7. And then they all blow up, deal AoE damage while his elemental skill smacks. And as you can see, his multiplier for his elemental burst damage is 872%, and the Fatal Blossom damage is 171%. Now, it doesn't go based off of defense right here, but it's still like a lot of percent. Plus the 872, that is a lot of damage. That's going to be a lot of damage. He's a nuke character, right? And the cooldown is 12 seconds, right? But the energy cost is 40. The energy cost is 40. That's why I'm saying he might be able to get his elemental burst back extremely fast because the cooldown being 8 seconds. If you could stack the Solar Isotama, cooldown being 8 seconds will make it to where he can literally spam it and then get his element. He could get energy back faster, get his elemental burst fast because it only costs 40 energy, guys. So I'm looking at a character that's going to be a nuker. He's going to be a character that nukes everything in his path. Now let's go over his passives. Calcite Might. Transient Blossoms generated by Abiogenesis Solar Isotama deal 25% more damage to enemies whose HP is below 50%. So basically, this is a little plus factor. If you have enemies that are below 50%, the Solar Isotama is going to deal 25% more damage. That is, the Blossoms tool, right? So the Transient Blossoms generated by it are going to deal 25% more damage. As you know, they come at every 2 seconds, one comes, right? But this also does, I think this does apply to the Elemental Burst as well. When you do your Elemental Burst and your Isotamas on the field, those 7 Fatal Blossoms get the plus 25% damage if your enemies are below 50% health. So that's going to be really useful as well. And then we have Homuncular Nature. Using Rite of Progeniture Tectonic Tide increases the elemental mastery of nearby party members for 125 for 10 seconds. And that is a really good support. That is one thing I want to discuss. That is a really good support. 125 increased elemental mastery. That is broken. That's going to be like really good, especially for reactions. Even though on his team, depending on how you build his team, he's going to need a certain team factor with him. But I mean, you could really be a little bit flexible with him since he can really depend on himself. That's this Geo compared to Zhongli. I'm gonna do a video on Zhongli versus Albedo, because compared to Zhongli really requires a little bit of a team build around him. This character, what I'm looking at right now, he's requiring himself really, and it's kind of crazy because, like, I mean, I know I'm crazy for saying this, but like his multipliers his skills, his cooldowns, everything, it just seems like he literally just needs itself. And the fact that he has geo damage as his second stat is just, it makes everything so much better. So let's go ahead, we're done discussing this character, let's go on to what his best builds are going to be. Okay guys, so here we are, we have the Archaic Petra. Y'all already knew this was coming. He's based off of geo damage, 28.8% at max level. So what that means is basically he's going to do a lot of geo damage, and as I explained, his elemental skill and elemental burst pump out geo damage, which does tons of damage. So that's why I'm saying building him on a geo damage set would be extremely good. Maybe not the 4-piece, but the 2-piece would definitely be beneficial to ALBEDO. So gaining a 15% geo damage bonus would be really good. You can do this. You can opt for 2-piece set of Archaic Petra and the 2-piece Noblesse Obliged set. You're probably saying, why? Why the Noblesse Obliged set? Well, it really depends. You can do 2-piece Glad, 2-piece Archaic on him if you want for the 18+% damage and the 15+% geo damage. Or you can do the Archaic Petra 2-piece plus the Noblesse Obliged 2-piece for the elemental damage plus 20%, and then the Archaic Petra for the 15% increased geo damage, right? So why is this in here? He has a high multiplier for his elemental burst, meaning he's going to be able to literally smack with it. And another thing to note is his elemental burst is going to come back really fast because of his cooldown on his elemental skill, which seems like we could stack it. If we can't, then maybe this might change. But if we can just put him on the field for after the 8-second cooldown, guys, I mean, maybe it works like this, right? You put one down, and then as soon as the 8-second cooldown's up, you could just put another one. But it's not gonna be, it's gonna take the other one off the floor and then put the other one that way. So it's gonna be similar to Fischl. How she puts her bird out, and then if she wants to go somewhere else, she can't put another one. So she just replaces where it goes. So that's probably how it works. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But still, it's the fact that you're gonna be doing tons of damage. You're gonna get your elemental burst back really fast since it only costs 40 energy. And man, this character's broken. You're gonna be doing a lot of geo damage, guys. So having this elemental burst plus 20% and then nuking with his elemental burst, and then the 7 fatal blossoms that, you know, blossom when you do his elemental burst if you have his Isotama on the field before he has elemental burst. Guys, he would literally just destroy the field. Like, this character's gonna be a broken character if they don't do anything to him. That's how he sounds. And what I want you to look for on the 2-piece Noblesse and 2-piece Archaic, if you, on your Eon, okay, let me say it like this. On your Mask, your Goblet, and your Sands, what you want is crit damage, geo damage, attack percent. These are the safest ones to go with him because of the fact of how he works. Having that extra geo damage will boost his geo damage by a bunch, plus the Archaic Petra plus 15%, plus the Ascension of his geo damage was up to 28% at max level. So geo damage is going to come in really good handy, especially since everything he does is basically geo damage. And then the crit damage is going to come in because I want you to try to run as much crit rate and crit damage and attack percent and defense if you can. I'm not demanding this, but crit damage, crit rate, attack percent, and defense on his substats. All his substats, if you can, do that. Because as you do know, his skills blossoms, on his elemental skills blossoms, they base off his defense. So having a little bit more defense will make those blossoms hit a little bit harder. And you want that if you really want to build them to the max potential. So what you want on the substats: crit damage, crit rate, defense, attack. And then on his main stats, you want crit damage, geo damage, as well as attack. And the reason you want crit rate is because, of course, you're going to have a lot of crit damage from having that crit damage build on him. And you want to hit for crits. You want to hit for as many consistent crits as you can on this character, so you can hit for that high damage number. So, yeah, for sure, this is the set to run on him, without a doubt, right? Now, if you are, like, free to play, if you aren't that high AR, you can opt for, literally, there's a 4-piece set for the Noblesse and the 4-piece set for the Archaic. Because those are, I understand that 5-star sets are really hard to get unless you have Zhongli. Zhongli literally carries the team. He carries. So unless you have like 5-star, if you don't have 5-star variety of the variety, or you know, of the Noblesse Obliged or the Archaic Petra, go for the 4-piece Noblesse and the 4-piece Archaic, and they'll still work the same. It's just they'll have a little bit less of a percentage, but the 2-piece of each of them will still stay the same. So you don't have to worry about that. But like I said, on the Mask, the Cup, and the Sands, you want crit damage. You want crit damage, attack percent, and geo damage. And on the substats, you want on substats of all of them if you possibly can. crit damage, crit rate, attack percent, defense. If you can. This is going to be hard because like you have this right here. This is a possible main stat roll of each of the things right here. So it's going to be pretty hard to roll and whatnot. But like I said, you have a chance, and honestly, you should go for it. It's going to be hard, but I know for sure some of you are probably already have sets ready for him, and y'all probably already have this ready because there's not many things on his builds, but out of his data, if you read his data, this is the perfect build for him. There's really not much else you can put on him other than this. I mean, if you want him to be a support, which he's not really built for support, really, like how his skills sound, his multipliers, he's not really built for support. But if you want to build him for support, there are sets out there for that. I will make a video for a support build. But as for today, this is a DPS build, elemental damage build, elemental burst build. This is what you're gonna run: Noble Sleep, 2-piece Noble Sleep plus the 2-piece Archaic Petra. So that's really about it for this video. I just wanted to go over him, how insane he is, and also the set that he could run that will make him even more insane because of the elemental burst damage. Like guys, let me show you one more time. Look at his multipliers. His level 15 is 872%, guys. He is scaling so high with his elemental burst damage. That's what I'm saying. The Noble Sea would just make him even hit harder. He would hit so much harder with Noble Sea Oblige. And then the Archaic Petra would just give him that 15% increased damage bonus for Geo. And he does Geo. That's all he does. 8-second cooldown. You could just keep placing this in different places. You can't stack this. You place this in different places, and it's 8-second cooldown. 30 seconds. It lasts for 30 seconds. So if you stay in one area, you can have it out for up to 30 seconds, guys. And this is what the damage is. 225 Transient Blossom damage max level, 309 level 15 skill damage. It's gonna do he's gonna do massive damage. He's gonna be insane, especially in Dragon Spine since he's buffed in Dragon Spine basically. So anyway, that's really about it for this video. Like I said, this is his build. Let me know down below if you have any other builds for Albedo that you have in mind. Let me know because I want to hear them, and other people in the comment section want to hear them as well. So anyway guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope this did help you get ready for Albedo because I know some of you stubborn subscribers love just not listening sometimes and just like saying, you know, I don't care about Jiraiya. Albedo all the way, baby. But I understand all these characters in the game it's about preference, and they all look cool as hell, man. They're all cool. So anyway guys, I hope you did enjoy. I hope this made help you make a good decision about his build. I hope this helped you prepare for his build and whatnot. And yeah, so if you did enjoy, go ahead and smash the like button down below. Join the subscribers on the grind to 1,500 by smashing that subscribe button down below. But without further ado guys, I will catch you guys in the next video. Salute and peace out. Love you.